According to this model, we will be talking in details about just in time, one philosophy that is key for the supply chain management. Best practice company from just in time is Toyota Motor Corporation. As you should know, this is the largest vehicle manufacturer in the world that annually sells over 9 million vehicles. It seizes down to two techniques, just in time and total Toyota production system. They work, the whole manufacturing of their cars is in a continual problem solving centering in just in time, and also they implement the elimination of the excess inventories that of course will make problems solved immediately. We will learn more in details about all of these items in the following slide. From Toyota system have two pillars. First, the goal of them is to increase high quality, lower cost, and shorten the lead time. We will learn more in detail about this concept in the following slides. The two pillars that I want you to take into account is first is just in time. That means continuous flow, takt time, and pull system. Continuous flow in terms of processes is that the whole activities, the result of one activity go directly to the next one without anything that stops them. The takt time is a synchronization between the time of the market is demanding the product and the time that the company is delivering that to the market. And the pull system is very interesting, but it's a very efficient way to produce because you are based on what the market is demanding to you and in the weight and speed that it's demanded by it. And the other pillar is the high DOCA, that is say stop and notify of abnormalities and separate men's work and machines work. This is very important, so you will see that like in a manufacturing process. And another three items that is in the base of this quality house from Toyota is the Heiduga, the standardized work, and Kaizen. And then all of this, and the most important thing that they get from implementing all of these techniques is the stability of the whole process. How we can get this? First, by pulling materials in small lots and getting to know the problems and emphasizing the continuous improvement. What can we do better every time? As a result of doing this, we will improve the manufacturing cycle time because it will be reduced, okay? Because it will be synchronized between the time that the market requires the products and at the end the whole process that is start before that. How and when we should buy the raw materials, and then how and when we should produce those materials, and then at the end how and when we should ship that to the market. And the third thing is the push system that orders in the Doctorate section regardless of the need. So this is another element that we should take into account. And when this happens in terms of process and in a manufacturing company, this is like magic. What this means is George Stein is called the powerful strategy for improving operations. The materials arrive where they're needed, only when they're needed. So you're receiving today something that will use that day or then just the next day, and they will use 100%. And also it helps identify problems and driving out waste, reduce cost, variability, and improve throughput. As I just explained, these three concepts, the weights were the waste, and if you reduce the waste, you will reduce cost and variability and improve throughput. So you will have like a more efficient process. And what it means, it requires at the end too, requires a meaningful buyer-supplier relationship. When you want to implement just in time, you need to work close with your provider. So this relationship has to be strong. If you need something that arrives like today, you need to plan it that for a whole, or not a whole, for a long term. So you are sure that you need that in a specific times, and also your supplier will work in the same way because they will provide you things at the time you need it. So it's for me, that's what I call this is a magic when this happens. Okay, let's summarize in this graph what are the just-in-time techniques and their competitive advantage. For the first thing, the suppliers. Few vendors, support the supplier relationship, quality deliveries on time, directly to work areas. These these are things that you should be pointed out in a very straightforward contract with SLAs and everything that is supposed to be clear to get the benefit of this technique. The second one is the layout. So this is based on work cells in terms of the traditional line, production lines, group technology, flexible machinery, organized workplace, reduced space for inventory. So they will help to get or to have low inventory levels because you will have limited space to keep those. Inventory, what is the technique in terms of inventory? Small lot size, low setup time, and specialized part bins. This is very important to get this competitive advantage. In terms of scheduling, zero deviation from schedules. So you're planning one schedule that's supposed to be compliant level schedules based on the demand and the things of the lot that you need to produce. Suppliers informed of the schedule, so everything is synchronized to get the materials in the right time that you need, and the Kanban techniques that will help you to be more efficient in terms of scheduling. Preventing maintenance, schedule it, planning on time is part of daily routine, and the operator is involvement. So they will help you to stop disruptions of the operation because one equipment would run in a time that were not expected. So this is like a discipline that should be implemented in the manufacturing process. Quality production based on statistical process control. This is a whole subject. We could talk about this by hours, but it's very important too. At the end is to get information from the production line so you can get all of the things analyzed, identified, statistical liberations. So uh, they will help the production people to get more information about what is going on and how the things are behaving in terms of what they are supposed to do and what is really happening. It's very interesting. Quality suppliers is very important, a part of the culture, the quality culture of the company. You also implement specific things to get into your production quality suppliers that will help you to support the whole just-in-time uh, process. And quality within the firm, this is like the same thing. It's the quality culture policy that should be part of the whole company. The another thing, the employee empowerment. This is for the secret, from my point of view, for the successful of this philosophy is that you have empowered and cross-trained employees, training support for job classification to ensure flexibility of the employees is very important too. And last but not least, the commitment that the management is supposed to support all of this, the employees and the suppliers. Okay, at the end, this results in a competitive advantage that we can summarize as the following. Rapid throughput, as I explained before, frees assets. Quality improvement, reduce waste. And we already talked about the waste. Cost reductions adds pricing flexibility. Variability reduction, reward reduction, all of these results in efficiency, which wins orders by faster response to the customer, a lower cost, and higher quality. So at the end, this is a huge competitive advantage. And just-in-time partnership sits when you do like a joint venture with a supplier, between a supplier and a purchaser. So each part work for the best of the world for their processes in terms of remove waste and driving down cost. So there are four goals of the just-in-time partnership, which are removal of unnecessary activities between each one part of the process, removal or in-plan inventory, which will be like you promises, for example, to buy some amount of things you can negotiate like for a very long term, and then you only receive the inventory of the raw material when you just need it, and instead of have a lot of things at your warehouse. Removal of in-transit inventory, that it can be achieved for the same strategy, and also improve quality and reliability, because you can work together with your suppliers in terms of be more specific about what are the attributes of the materials that you need to produce all the things that you need to produce. It's very interesting because here are very good examples about where it's just-in-time partnerships. In terms of the suppliers, there are the locations are close, so you can reduce time of transportation and cost. Extend just-in-time techniques to their suppliers. If you have good practices, you can put that, implement that at your suppliers. Include packaging and routine details. You can work together, detail ID and routine labels. This is just examples in terms of shipping. Seek joint schedule and shipping efficiencies, which time is better for each part. This is some example of things that can be actually in a contract agreement between suppliers and buyers. In terms of buyers, you share customer preference and demand forecast, so each one can work together in terms of their own sourcing strategies. Also, what I love with the examples, you support suppliers' innovation and price competitiveness. And in terms of quantities, you start working in produce small slots, produce with zero defects. And in general, this is a partnership that can work just like I put there. It's a mutual understanding and trust. So this is like the best of the work that you can find out to work with your suppliers, have this win-win relationship. Some things that you need to keep in mind is this. It would depend if your supplier is a buyer, but in terms of the company is maybe the concern to the supplier could be the diversification, not put all the eggs in the same place, because it would be a risk. You, as a company, you don't need to have the risk to have only one supplier, and as a supplier, you don't want to concentrate all of your effort only working with one customer. On the other hand, and is tied with a diversification issue, also is the scheduling. And more suppliers will say, don't believe customer can create a smooth schedule. That's why this requires a very detailed work and negotiation, because if I'm the company, I will fix everything to be in my terms and not necessarily take into consideration the restrictions of the whole processes of my supplier. So this is something that needs to work together, and that's why maybe if you are the company, you don't have to work only with one supplier. You need to find out which one is more flexible to join your own processes. Say that I call all of this risk when you handle the suppliers. If you work in lot size and you define two small lot size, you maybe will be transfer the cost to your suppliers. So this is another issue that you will need to work together with the suppliers that you choose. What are your requirements, and to see what is the cost or your extra cost that would be if you are giving to them a specification that are not in their boundaries of what they can do in their best cost options. like a specification or tactics when we work in reduced ways down to movement. These are really good examples. For example, one I had been implementing is build work cells for family of products. So you will have all of the things that are familiar to build a specific product very close. So you can assign like a different product for the same schedule in the same area. Include a large number of operations in a small area that is in close relation what I just said. Minimize distance, put everything very close to the part when the things are supposed to be made. Design little space for inventory. As I explained before, they will help everything of the processes to fix, like to handle and to get used to handle low amount of inventory. Build flexible movable equipment so you can rearrange everything very easy. A constraint will work to add flexibility. Lets most of the people to know many different things so they can be change positions and do different things at different times. That will depend on the needs of the manufacturing process. This is another practice. This is Poka-yoke and Chaku-chaku. Sounds funny, but Poka-yoke, if you are not familiar with the terms, is like you design the things to be easy to assemble. The assembly would be easy. It's like the figure. You design everything that would be easy. It's like the toys of the babies. If the triangle does not fit in that position, it's because that is not supposed to be in that position. And Chaku-chaku is like the same. This arrangement as like a U is like it's a very good diagram to explain like how you can organize the things in an area. If we think about the manufacturing, you can put everything in that order so the people doesn't have to move to different places. They have everything very close. And if you think in terms of the office, if you have to work in the desk, you will put everything that you need very close, so you don't need to go to the next room to find out the papers that you need, the folders that you need to do your work. That is the smart way to organize the work to reduce waste of movement. And distance reduction, I guess this is could be repetitive, but it's the same as I just explained. You have to optimize, like have smarter flexible cells. So one time when you're doing a specific product, you put everything that are familiar products together, and then you can change that arrangement depending on the needs. The U shape that was in the slide before, or maybe using group technology concepts. So you can put like all of the designers in one area, the programmers in another, and it's like in an order of fabric. So in logical and closest areas in one area need to work close to another one. Is some logical to put them as close as they can, so you can reduce the distance. They can improve the communication and the paper transfer of the decision making also. That's as you can notice, it have also an impact on employees, because employees may be cross-trained. This would be teaching them to be flexibility and efficient, and also they would be very good for them because they will gain different skills, so they will be very motivated in that. This improves communication because it facilitates the interchange of information to make very quickly important decisions. And with the layer on non-inventory buffer, getting it right the first time is critical. Okay, so this is in terms of employees, but it reduces space and inventory because you start working in small slots, as I explained, and then the units are always moving because they're not storage. So this is, if you have the chance to see this in real life, this work very, very interesting, and it looks very well organized. And at the end, this that help is if everything works in this way, you have a visual access to see very quickly what is not working in the right way. When we talk about just-in-time inventory, you only work with a minimum level necessary to keep operation running. What is the tactic to get this? Use a pull system to move inventory. You just will be buy it as soon as you are clear about what the market is needed. They need this to get this implemented. You need to get the information right away to make the exact and precise decision about when, what, and why you need to buy to have the right inventory to produce everything. You reduce the lot sizes, develop just-in-time delivery systems with suppliers. You need, as I explained before, to work together with your suppliers. Deliver directly to the point of use. You put the product where the point of use. Perform to schedule, reduce setup time. Everything should be ready very quickly to start production, and use group technology. This is the key to get these tactics implemented. Look at this diagram. Is you will have like all of the things that could be a waste. There is a word in Spanish for this, but let's say a waste. This is your inventory level, and this is the boat, and you will see all the variabilities: scrap, setup time, late deliveries, quality problems, process downtime. Let's see what happened. As soon as you reduce inventory level, you will have the visibility to see all of the things that are affecting your production. In this case, you will see the process downtime, the quality problems, the setup time, all of these things that were not visible with a high inventory level that you have before. Now, in terms of just-in-time scheduling, schedules must be communicated. This is very important inside and outside the organization. Level schedules, it means like two things. For example, process frequent small batches, and remember that we talked before that you have to reduce the batches, and if you do like frequent small batches, it's more easy and more quickly to do. And freezing the schedule helps stability. It means like you don't change the schedule every time. You work like in a well-known planning process, so you reduce the thinking part or the guessing part of what is next. They already know what to do, and the Kanban is really good to use for visual help about the pull system, what would be next in each of the activities of the process. So in terms of the scheduling, the tactics that are good, this is like a summary of what we just explained before. Communicate the schedule to suppliers so they know when you need the things to your production process. Make level schedules, freeze part of the schedule, perform to schedule. Seek one piece, make and one piece move. Eliminate waste. We have been talking this a lot, producing small lots. Use Kanbans and make each operation produce a perfect part, or the one that complies with the quality standard that you have defined. And three more good practices about level schedule: process frequent small batches. Make and move small lots so the level schedule is economical. It's more less cost to move like small lots that big at once. And freezing the schedule closer to the due dates can improve performance. This could be good because it's about changes unnecessaries and guessing between everything what to do next. Oh, we have been talking about Kanban, but what is Kanban? Kanban is the Japanese word for card, and this is like an authorization to the next container of material to be produced. And a sequence of Kanbans pulls the material through the process. This is magic, this is the card. And many different sorts of signals are used, but the system is still called Kanban. And this is called the line of the car service in every restaurant. It looks like in your mind you can figure out that it's work like the same.